And we're here live with a very special guest, all the way in Las Vegas, Nevada. She's been doing quite a lot of great things in her career. If you haven't heard about this artist right now, just you guys tap in, listen to this incredible music by this wonderful artist. We're here with Amy Jaime.
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, good. I know it's early your time and both early for us, but
Yes, yes, but we're up and we're awake, and that's all that matters.
for sure, for sure. What's been going on these days and how have you been?
I've been very, very good. Life be crazy, but that's normal, I guess, for everybody. But I just released a Christmas EP. It's called Christmas Wishes. It has four songs. Three of them are English, one of them is Spanish. My personal favorite is the Spanish one that I did. I did it with this girl named Valentina. She's an incredible writer. She's been writing a lot of my music. So shout out to her. And what else am I doing? Performances, bunch of performances. And then next year, I'm planning on releasing like a single a month. Like every month, I want to release like a different single at the end of the month, or every 2 months, I want to release a different single. Um, but yeah, that's about it on what's going on. Just a bunch of things, honestly.
This leads into one of my questions I have for you. Just recently dropped your new EP, Christmas Wishes.
hmm
Christmas has probably got to be your favorite holiday of the year, right?
Yes, out of all of them, yeah, I would say Christmas. I like Christmas more than Halloween, honestly.
Okay. Okay.
hmm hmm
So I guess that's probably how you started or what the creativity inspiration was behind Christmas Wishes, right?
Yeah, yeah, basically. I love Christmas.
Well, besides your new EP, I know you also recently dropped another single just recently, October.
Yeah. October in Spanish. Yes, I did. I released it, I think it was at the end of October, late September. I can't really remember, but yeah, that one has been doing pretty well too. So I've gotten some cool opportunities because of it. So I'm really excited to see what next year is going to bring for me since I'm going to be transitioning into Spanish music as well. So I'm really excited about that.
Definitely. Now, for you and your career, tons of music. Learn about you back in 2022, 1-800 pickup call. I know that song went viral for you. But let's talk about the creativity and inspiration behind 1-800 pickup call because it's pretty successful for you.
For 1-800 pickup call, it was Good Days on My Mind that I was listening to by SZA. So it's like, oh, scissor, SZA, that kind of rhymes. So I don't know, it was just kind of, it wasn't anything specific, it wasn't about anybody. A lot of people write your songs about somebody specific, and 9 times out of 10, I really don't. It just depends on like if the beat is uh like the title of the beat, if it has a specific name, that's what I usually will write the song off of because of the beat title. But basically, that's really what I wrote it of because I was listening to SZA and then the beat title, really. Nothing specific, but
Okay, okay.
mhm, I'm too crazy.
For sure, for sure. Now, so I gotta ask you, because you've been doing music for quite some time. You've had a ton, well, you have tons of talents in other things in your career, whether it may be sports, film, photography, clothing. I know at the age of 9 is when you began your interest or had an interest in music. But I gotta ask you, before you started to really pursue music heavy, did you ever have any other career goals in mind?
Before that, I mean, I was going to school for like for medical. So, I mean, that was like an option of mine, you know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, other than that, like music is everything, really. Music is like forever. But yeah, 9 years old, that's when like I really started to like pique an interest in it. But it wasn't until like 2020 when I started making music professionally. So I always say that I started singing at 9, maybe not professionally, but like that's when like I figured out that I, have a voice in something. So, but yeah, I've ventured out in like different things as well. I've tried like literally everything. I thought for a while that I could be a photographer, but no, I have I have shaky hands. I can't do that. And it's just like not my forte. Taking photos is cool, but it's just like not my thing. Taking videos isn't really my thing either. Um, but yeah, I've tried like everything, but nothing really stuck out until like I started doing music. So I guess everything is just like there's always I always say like if something's not working out, there's always going to be something that will in the end, even if you don't see it. Maybe it'll happen like in a year from now or something, you know?
Since you've been taking music professionally a couple of years back, what can you say that has been your enjoyment in music throughout all these years?
The enjoyment. It's kind of like a healer for my inner child, I guess, because this is something I've always wanted to do. Um, I think that brings enjoyment into it a lot because I'm just like, oh, dang, like I'm doing this for my younger self. So I don't know, that's just very makes me very happy, makes me very pleasing. Because if anybody ever told me that I was gonna be creating my own music when I was like, somebody told me this when I was like in middle school or high school or something like that, I'd be like, you're lying. There's no way. There's no way that I'd be making my own music. So pretty cool. Very, very cool. I think that's a lot of joy. There's a lot of joy in it, a lot of inner child in it. So
Now, you mentioned your inner child, obviously, you mentioned your enjoyments in music, and you mentioned just a few minutes ago SZA as far as one of the artists that you might have been listening to for inspiration when it comes to music. But besides SZA, who in music has inspired you? Are there any other artists or inspirations in your career?
there's quite a few. Let's say Kanye West. Very different, but I don't make music like him, but Kanye West for sure. He's super versatile. Mariah Carey, Selena, I would say. She's the GOAT. Mariah Carey, Selena, Kanye. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Lauren Hill. Lauren Hill is pretty cool. Um, Erica Badu. She's cool too. A lot of R&B influences, Spanish music influences, rap influences as well. I grew up listening to rap and R&B a lot as a kid because I was always around my uncles, so that's what they mainly listened to. So I think that's really a huge influence for me. But yeah, those are like the main people that I really, really like. But Mariah Carey's like it's up there.
Dabbled in tons of genres of music and have created tons of songs. Say your style would be R&B flavored pop, a little bit of hip hop or so, and now Latin music. About your style, your creativity of music, how has it been most effective for you if you had to pick a favorite genre of music that you enjoy the most to create?
I would say probably doing Spanish music for sure. I mean, I like doing both, don't get me wrong, but I think Spanish music, I have a lot more fun doing that. And it's something that's really stuck out the most with a lot of people. So yeah, I would say Spanish music really, really gets me going for sure compared to every other genre I've done.
Being that you're from Las Vegas, I know Vegas is Sin City and whatnot, and music and whatnot. But being that you're from Las Vegas, how do you continue to focus on music and kind of stay away from all that glitz and glamour?
Um, I mean, I think a lot of people see Vegas as like a huge party city, but I feel like it's just like more like specifically like on where you're at. You know what I mean? Like if you're on the strip, obviously it's gonna be crazy. Um, but I mean like just like being at home, I mean that really just brings a lot of creativity. Sometimes, sometimes not. I don't really get a lot of creativity at home. I like to like go outside. There's like a lot of places in Vegas that I mean that probably like outsiders don't really know about that very like artsy. Because in Vegas they turned there's an arts district in Vegas now. So like they revamped the entire thing. Like there's I don't know if you've ever been to like Seattle or something like that. Like they have like an arts district or whatever, but it's very like a similar feel to Seattle or to like Oregon. Artsy. I wouldn't say hippie, I guess, but very similar in that caliber. So I really like going in those areas specifically because just because it's like it's very artsy. There's always people. And I like to people watch. I like to see what other people are doing, regardless if it's good or bad, because you get inspiration from it. You're like, oh, I can write about, that person's relationship or something, or write about that person over there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a bunch of different human experiences.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot in common. People watching is very key nowadays, I guess, right?
Yes, it is. It is. I agree.
I gotta ask you, what is the Vegas music scene like? Now I know it's, it headliners and lots of artists come in and all that residencies and whatnot, but just besides all that.
If you asked me this like maybe like 2 years ago, I would have like a more in-depth answer. And the reason why is because I feel like the biggest music scene has changed a lot from when I first started, which was like in 2020. This was like mid-pandemic, but I got to meet a lot of the artists that were, I guess, like the older generation or whatever, or like I guess from like the years of 2018 or 2017 to 2020, there was like a different music scene, and I guess everybody was very, very close. Um, it was just way different back then compared to what it is now. Now there's just like a bunch of new smaller artists that have been popping out that I haven't personally met, that I don't know, but I've heard of, haven't met them yet. And I feel like a lot of the times I'm like, okay, because I hear people are like, oh, you need to go out to more local, local shows or whatever, this and that. And I'm not saying like I'm better than anybody else, but I just feel like I'm like, oh my God, I already did that. And I'm just like, and then I started to think, I'm like, I can't be like going to like a bunch of local shows over and over again because there's always going to be a new artist that I don't know that's going to be popping out, which is cool, but at the same time, if I like, every when it comes to artistry, everybody wants to take it to a different level. You know what I mean? So like a lot of the times I try to like think, put into consideration. I'm like, okay, so if I go to local shows all the time, then I don't think I'll get to where I want to be, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think right now I don't really have the answer on like how the biggest music scene is because a lot of the people that I originally knew or originally started with, like they don't make music anymore, or they ventured out into something else, or and now it's just a bunch of new artists that I am not like 100% familiar with. So it's just like my answer is like I don't know, man. It's like it's so different now. It's so different. So yeah, my answer is IDK. IDK, but it's diverse, I guess.
Definitely diverse, but just but everybody sprinkled over the place in Vegas, pretty much.
Yes, yes, yes. Vegas is small, so it's not like other cities though. It's not like LA, it's not like Atlanta or New York. Not at all. Music isn't really something that oh I mean people like music obviously, but they care more about the bigger artists. You know what I mean? They want to go and see stadium artists or they don't really care about us too much, if that makes any sense.
Hopefully there's a change on that, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Hopefully.
In October 21st, 2022, one of my favorite songs that I enjoyed from you is Secret.
Really, that's cool. Thank you. That's actually about somebody, which is funny. They usually say like 9 times out of 10 it's not what that is. So yeah, basically, I wrote that song about somebody that I used to like, I guess, kind of, not really, but like kind of in the moment. Um, and basically just that song's about like having an your imagination's making a relationship with somebody that, obviously doesn't want you or something. So yeah, that's basically what it's about. It's just having a huge imagination ship in your head and nobody really knows about it except, for yourself. So it's like, oh, maybe I should write something about that. Um, that's where I was like, I kept you as my secret. You know what I mean? Because it's a secret and just for me, myself, and I. But yeah, that's really what it's about.
Now, in your career, with all the success that you've been having, what do you wish you would have known when you first started out in your career?
Patience is key. A lot of the times when like I first started, I would say maybe like 2020, 2021. I was just very impatient. I'm like, okay, why hasn't this blown up? Why hasn't this blown up? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I still kind of get that sometimes, but not as much as I used to. Um, but I'm looking back at all my older stuff and I'm just like, I feel way more ready than I did back then, but I was just not ready for anything. Like, I don't think I was ready for, because if, something were to like extremely blew up and gone viral back then, would I have been able to handle it? Probably not. You know what I mean? I don't think we're ever ready for like anything really, but if your mindset changes a little bit, feel like you're ready in a way, then and that's always a good thing. But yeah, I think patience is key. And another one is being consistent. Back then I wasn't too consistent with like posting on social media or just like understanding like I know Reels is kind of new on Instagram, but like posting Reels and just being interactive with people who actually like your music, you know what I mean? Because I always see a lot of artists get, comments. Maybe it'll be, smaller artists and it's just like 20 comments from somebody. I mean, like people are still commenting, and I feel like a lot of people should still be considerate. I mean, it doesn't have to be right then and there, you have to comment back, you know what I mean? But just acknowledging and just like thanking, just showing that you're grateful is always a good thing because it'll have people coming back, you know what I mean? So I think that's another thing that I learned too, just being more consistent with that, consistent with dropping music and just everything else. I'm still learning the marketing part. Still have still have my issues with that sometimes, but I mean, I don't think I'm not a marketing genius. I didn't go to school for that. So, I mean, still a learning process in a way. But yeah, consistency and patience is what I've learned.
You mentioned your keys to success in your career. I gotta ask you, were there any challenges, any adversities that you've overcome to get you to the place that you're at? I mean, especially being a female artist.
Hmm. Um, Kind of just I guess proving everybody wrong in a way. I feel like I proved a lot of people wrong. That I can do, this or I can do that. Yeah, really just proving a lot of people wrong. When I think it was earlier this year, no, late last year and like early this year, I was not getting any shows like at all. And I was just confused. I was like, did I do something? You know what I mean? But all of a sudden, like I just started getting booked like back, back to back. So I think that was like kind of like another thing that I did too, is like proving everybody wrong in a way when it comes to like the show aspect, performing world. So kind of like one of like the keys to success for me, I guess, proving everybody wrong. But you shouldn't be proving everybody wrong to please yourself. You should be proving yourself wrong first because you are your biggest enemy. Um, so as long as you're loyal to yourself and you're proving yourself wrong first and then proving everybody else wrong second, the key to success, honestly, with whatever you want to do in life, really.
Got a lot of great music along the way. Very creative, very talented, I must say. What can we expect from you in the near future? Any goals that you want to accomplish? Any dream collaboration?
Because I have, I think, at least maybe like over 100 songs in the vault. So, I mean, I need to release that. And so, yeah, just releasing a bunch of stuff. I don't think I plan on releasing an EP, maybe an album, maybe a little bit later in the year, next year, but I really want to focus more on singles since that's like just one song everybody can focus on and I can just focus on. Because marketing like 3 or 4 songs is a little tough for me, especially as a smaller artist. So, yeah, bunch of single performances. I really like doing photo shoots as well. Brings out like another creative side of me. So yeah, definitely more like, I guess content or whatever. More videos, more different, creative, fun videos. So I'm excited about that too. So just everything in one. Bunch of things.
Keeping it consistent, as you always mention, keeping it consistent.
Gotta be consistent.
Now you've got tons of music, of course, as you mentioned that is in the vault that you want to release and you want to put out there. As an artist, how do you differentiate or how do you go about picking certain songs that you want to release? Because I'm sure you probably have a lot of songs you're like, oh man, I want to release all these. These are all really good.
I don't know. Like what I usually do is I do a little test run on TikTok and like I'll just like kind of like post a song or whatever. And I see which one does a little bit better, and then that's how I go from there. But my English music, like back then, I wasn't doing that too hot on TikTok. Then I started posting a bunch of like my Spanish stuff, and it just started to like get more traction. And I think that's how I released that song that I just recently released in September, October this year. Because I was gonna release something else. It was called ET, but I decided to release a Spanish one because I really wanted to showcase, that side, and a lot of people liked it. So,
Doing hip hop music, a little bit of R&B, and now Latino music, urban Latino music. Can we expect a Latin album from you?
oh, that'd be fun. Maybe. I don't know because I still like doing English music too. So maybe double, maybe both, Spanglish.
As far as who you're thankful for in your career, as far as you've been having quite success in your career.
Yes, I would. Yeah, a lot of people on Christian Matute. Um, he's different. He's a different breed for sure. I've never met anybody like him. Very hyperactive. Um, but that's like a whole different story. But yeah, very hyperactive, very fun to work with. A very good engineer too. So all the mixing and mastering, like all my songs, you can hear like there's just a lot of quality in the work. It just sounds very, very radio ready. Very sounds like $1,000,000. You know what I mean? But I would say him, my drummer for sure, video guy too. But yeah, I mean like the list goes on, but like those are just like the main top three.
Last question before I let you go. You're from Las Vegas, obviously. If you had to pick a favorite place that you enjoy going to or a favorite food spot, what would that place be?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's a lot of places I like to go to in Vegas. Well, like I said earlier, the Arts District is really cool. Man, there's just so many good food spots. I think like Vegas is becoming like that foodie city, especially with the, shout out to Keith Lee. Pretty sure you're familiar with him, yeah. But I mean, like, showed how diverse Vegas is with the food culture. So yeah, there's just so many good places. I can't pick one. Like I can't think at the top of my head. You have to go outside of the strip. But I think one of like my biggest recommendations would be on Spring Mountain. They have like a bunch of Asian food, super, super good. They have Chinatown there. And then they have like this new plaza called Shanghai Plaza, and it just has like a bunch of different variety of food. Like they have Korean, they have like the Korean cheese dogs. They just have a bunch of stuff. Super good. 10 out of 10.
Well, thank you for your time. I
Thank
appreciate
you. But yeah, but we're here. We're here. We're excited.
it for sure. Definitely a lot. I definitely want the best for you. I appreciate your time and
You too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. He's the dude. Need an interview. Gotta go to him. But thank you guys so much. Again, my name is Amy Jamie.